it's Natalie.
Hey y'all, it's Madeline.
And I'm Autumn, and this is TWT.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TWT. My name is Natalie, your host for today. In today's episode, we'll be honoring a TW alumni, Jennifer J. Alamia Gonzalez, in which she will be sharing her experience and obstacles as a first-generation college student. Without further ado, Jennifer, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself before we begin?
Hi, yes, of course. My name is Jennifer J. Alamia Gonzalez, and I grew up in the RGV Valley in Brownsville, Texas, next to the border. And I graduated from Texas Human University last year on May 2023 with a bachelor's of business administration with a entrepreneurship emphasis. And I am a first gen student. Um, so yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. We're super excited to have you on the podcast. Thank you for joining us. I am so honored to have you on here because you are someone I personally know, and it's just great hearing more about your story and how you navigated through college as a first gen. Um, so starting off, I have a question for you. What memories do you have of being a first generation college student, and what challenged you and what surprised you about it?
Mm, well, I made like some great memories there at TWU. I was there for 2 years since I did like my associate first here in my hometown.
Oh, really? What community
Yes.
college did you go to?
Texas Almost College.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So you did two
Yeah.
years there and then you transferred over here.
Yes. Well, it was mostly to save money.
Yeah, seriously,
So yeah.
that's such a great idea. Did you like encounter any challenges with like the transfer or stuff?
Yes. Since I was like the first in my family to go like far away, to go to college. So it was like a bit of a challenge,
Leaving your
being far
family?
away from home, like leaving everyone, because I didn't have any family there like in the Dallas area.
Huh?
So it was a challenge for me, and I was surprised on like the different like cultures like they have there.
Yeah,
Since here in the valley, like we're mostly Mexican and Hispanic,
yeah,
so seeing like different culture, like it was like kind of fun and like a learning experience.
yeah. It's so different because like it's so funny and curious because it's still in the same state, but you see different changes, like um from city to city, like they have different practices, the way the lifestyle moves, how fast life moves, and it's so crazy to like even experience that. So with that being said, did you experience any like major changes in your life when you started college? I know you mentioned that you transferred, but was there any like major life changes as a first generation student? If so, could you describe some?
Mm, I feel that one of my challenge was that mm, I grew up in a household where um only like Spanish is speak.
Oh,
So and not only like my household, also like here in my community, like in Brownsville, we mostly speak like
Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah.
So it was like a bit of a challenge for me since like I personally like I'm not comfortable like speaking in English.
Mhm.
So in a way I learned more, and also like getting out of my comfort zone in like practicing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really big obstacle like first generation students encounter because Many people, their first language isn't English, and that's what is primarily spoken here, so it's really difficult getting used to it and interacting with new people because you don't know how to express yourself sometimes, and it just causes some frustration. But I totally understand where you're coming from because English was not my first language either. And it did take me a while, and like obviously accents still exist, and um it's really like difficult to adapt to, but it's something that you kind of have to grow into to get through. So, what was most helpful for you when you came to TWU?
Um, I feel the different types of resources and organizations that TWU offers. I know that I was in trail like as a first
Right.
gen, so that really helped me since I didn't know like anything about TWU. So being part of that organization helped me on finding more about like different resources and like events and everything that can help me with my career and also like as a first gen.
Yeah. So they kind of like helped you navigate through it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good that you mentioned. They were also a guest on our podcast, and we shared like different, you know, types of helps that they offer to students, and I like how they help students feel not alone, like um even if you don't have anyone you create these connections that you're able to go through with not only like throughout your college experience but also after, and it's relationships that really help you get to and navigate through life. So I'm really happy that you were able to form part of that, and I know you were very active and around campus a lot, right?
Yes. I would go to all like the events that I was able to.
Yeah, I feel like everyone knew you, which is so good because you were putting yourself out there, so it helped you not feel lonely, especially from the change from the RGV area to here.
Yes.
So, you said you did face some challenges and obstacles, not only being first gen, but also being a Latina. What helped you navigate through your first year of college as a first generation?
Mm, I feel that what helped me was like always have in mind that like to get out of your comfort zone,
Mhm.
even if like I don't know, like sometimes I would be stressed or tired, but like I would still go to the event or things like that because
You really
um
would put yourself out there.
yeah, because here when I was like here in the valley, I wasn't like I guess
Involved.
like a extrovert, yeah, like
Yeah.
involved in everything. So I was more like an introvert person. So when I went to TW, I set a goal to myself like to be more like extrovert and be more like out there and network.
That's really good, yeah. Especially coming from a small town to like a big city, it's a major change, and you kind of not are forced to, but you do want to like put yourself out there in order to meet new people and stuff, since the last thing you want to do is feel lonely in a new place. Um, what did you receive your bachelor's in, and how did you find passion for what you decided to obtain as a career?
I received my bachelor's in business administration with a focus of entrepreneurship
Okay.
and I have always like finance, like numbers, finance, and just like
Like math.
business, yeah. So I knew that if because like one day like I want to have my own business, so I knew that I wanted to learn more about like how to administrate like a business, how to be like an entrepreneur.
Yeah. You wanted to be well educated in that in case you ever decided to go through with opening a business.
Yes.
That's awesome. Um, what do you wish first generation students knew when they came to Texas Women's University or even like you know, any college, like being exposed to the college life for the first time as a first generation student?
Mm, I feel that to try to be like confident and don't be like so hard on yourself. And I
Yeah,
know that many like first gen like struggles with imposter syndrome since like well our parents like didn't had the opportunity to have like this experience and everything.
right.
So like it kind of like um feels like oh like you have to do like everything like perfect
Yeah.
or I don't know.
Have to set the example because you are the first one doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally
Uh,
feel like that too. Cause I mean, I'm a first gen as well, and I feel like sometimes I am a little too hard on myself because I'm like, well, no one in my family has done it, or no one around me has done it, so I feel like I have to do it. I can't let anyone down. But at the end of the day,
yeah.
it's only for me, it's only for us. So whatever we do, it's only gonna benefit or harm us. And I feel like that's a concept that's, misinterpreted so much because you try putting this image of yourself out there that is like, oh, I'm perfect, I got it, I'm not struggling, and it's not always like that, and it's okay, like life is not perfect, and especially being in college is not easy, and I feel like it's something that's not very spoken of, and it is a very hard struggle being first generation.
Yes, and like also cuz you're like no, I should know about this, like I need to know, but like it's normal and it's
Yeah.
okay when you don't know something. You can also like don't be afraid to ask when you don't know.
Yeah, to ask for
'Cause-
help.
yes.
I definitely agree with that because I feel like sometimes me or like I have other friends that are also first gens and um you're intimidated asking for help because you feel like you're gonna get shut down and it shouldn't be like that. Like if anything, you should be proud of yourself for trying to push yourself forward, being first generation?
Yes. I agree with you.
So I mean, this leads to what we've been talking about, but what is a common struggle you notice with first generation students, or even like not being first generation, but even being a first year college student?
I think like the college adjustments, especially
Yeah.
like if you come like me like far away that it's Denton from Brownsville, it's like 10 hours like driving.
Oh,
So
wow, that's a really long time.
yeah, I would only visit like during the Christmas vacations that we had like 2 weeks and like spring break and that's it.
That's another obstacle too, like leaving your family behind
Mm-hmm.
when you've been raised with them. And that's not just a struggle for first generation students, but also for first year college students, because I mean, for the most part, you live like 18 to 20 years with your family on an everyday basis. You see them all day, every day, and then you go to like seeing them once or twice a year, and it's a sacrifice that you have to make. Um, but it's worth it at the end.
Yes. Yeah, 'cause we would only like FaceTime or call or sometimes like I wasn't able to since I was like always busy.
With school, yeah.
Yeah, and stressed with exams and everything. So it was hard.
I'm sure it feels good being back home now, right?
Yes.
So, what advice would you give to a first generation student that, is in your steps now?
Mm, take advantage like of all the resources and that your specific like school offers. Like I know that TW has like a lot of resources, but also like organizations.
Mhm.
Um Also like don't forget your roots. Um
Oh, that's so
where like
important.
where you came from
Yes, I'm so
and
glad you mentioned that.
yeah, and like why are you doing it? Like always
Don't
remember,
grow up
because I
perfect.
know that sometimes like it's hard and like you want to give up, but just like take a break, like have like a day for yourself and get back to it.
Yeah. I like that you mentioned the part about don't forget your roots because I feel like you know, after you leave college, you go back home or you start your new life and it's as much as you want to, it's not the same as it used to be before you left for college. And sometimes we get so caught up in life and this new lifestyle and these new trends and whatnot, and you start like fading away from where you came from. And it shouldn't be like that, you know, like we should be proud of who we are. And where we came from because whether you came from nothing or you had it all, it's really important to keep that in mind. And like you said, don't forget why you're doing it. Like, I feel like that's such a motivation to when you feel like giving out in college or you feel like you can't do it anymore. Like, hey, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it to be successful and I know I can get through it. You know, regardless of the obstacles and the situations you are putting yourself through. I agree with
Yes.
that. Um,
Yeah. And also like for the future generations, like now you're gonna be able to help them.
oh yeah, it's not gonna be first gen now. It's like, oh, you have someone to lean on, you have someone to rely on because I've been through it, you know?
Yes.
It's a feeling that really excites me because, you know, past generations, like we didn't have that opportunity. And like you said, take advantage of your opportunities because, you know, you pay tuition at the end of the day. It's not
Yeah.
just you paying for classes, you're paying for these programs, you're paying for um these I'm sorry, organizations, these student life, you know, help and tutoring, and it's all including your tuition and you don't even realize it, and it's something very important and something we should be very aware of as students because I feel like sometimes stuff are offered to you even at no cost or cost of your tuition included already, and we don't take advantage of it because we don't put ourselves out there.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
so
I know that Tito you also offers like medical like
medical help, like clinics.
yes.
Yeah, I have heard
Yeah.
of that too. That's pretty good. And sometimes it's not even like it being included in your tuition, but they have really discounted prices at like, you know, you I know we have a dental office where dental hygiene students are able to like work on you, and you're helping both, you know, because you're helping yourself financially and you're helping them improve their studies and, you know, get work on their career, which is so good. So with that being said, why don't you share your favorite college experience with us?
I really like the block parties and
Oh
the
yes, those are so
Pioneer
fun.
Calusa. Yeah. I know that on my first year in the block party, like I was alone since I didn't know anyone,
Right.
but I still went to all like different stations that they had and it was kind of fun. I really like the corn that they always have like every
Oh
year.
yeah, the elotes are so good.
Yeah.
I enjoy those too. I feel like block parties, I really like that they do them at the beginning of semesters, because you're able to meet people and that way, you know, you're not navigating through classes on your own, especially being like first generation or first time college student. You feel like you're alone and you have no one to lean back on, and it's not like that. Like, so it's a really good opportunity to go out and put yourself out there and make friends and start conversations. Um, Not to mention they have a lot of freebies.
Yes, free food.
I know, free food, free merch. I remember all the years I've been, I literally walk out with like 4 or 5 shirts, 3 bags.
Yes.
It's so funny, but Pioneer Palooza is so cool too. It reminds me of Coachella.
Yeah, like it's like a summer party.
Yeah. I like that they have live bands and live artists come out too. Um, is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Mm, I feel that if you are able to do like an internship before you graduate so you can get like the experience in like the career that you want to pursue.
Right. Did you
And
did you
and
do any before you graduate?
yes, I did. I did one here, not like in TW, but I did here one in Brownsville,
Uh-huh.
and it was fun because it was mainly me going like to different like businesses. I know that I went to like with a judge and then like a doctor, and then in a like a company of I of like trucks.
Oh, okay,
So
like the
it
trucking
was
company
like, yeah, so it was kind of fun like seeing like the administrative like part.
side to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it also helps a lot because many students, especially being first gen, like you have no experience and no idea. I mean, the only other thing I could think of is like research about like what you're going into majoring, but an internship is a really good opportunity to see if you really like what you're gonna do for a career before you get into it for a lifetime, you know?
Yes.
Uh,
And also like it's okay to change the career because I know like um a lot of us like struggle and we're like no at 18 like we have to know
we
like
have to
what
do,
is our
yeah.
career pathway, but keep in mind like you're barely 18, which I feel that you're like 1 year old of being like an adult, so it's okay to change like your career pathway
Yeah.
and maybe you find like another passion. So yeah.
Yeah, I am with you on that. Like, sometimes you feel so guilty for changing your career, changing your major, and it's something totally okay. Like, these are your years for you to be deciding what you want to do for the rest of your life. And honestly, no one wants to be at a job or a career where you feel miserable, you don't like what you do and you just did it because you didn't decide to change what you wanted to do at the right time. And especially going back to what we said, like you feel like you owe something to someone. And I feel like changing our majors, like we feel like, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this, or I feel bad for doing it, but you don't know it to anyone but yourself. And I feel like that's the takeaway to this. Like, it doesn't matter if you're first generation or first year or even a college student in general. Like, you're doing it for yourself. The only one doing the sacrifice is you. And I feel like that's something you should keep in mind. Keep going, si se puede, y es todo lo que we have to we have to keep in mind.
Yes.
Okay, well, with that being said, that wraps up our episode for today. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining us today and telling us a little bit more about yourself and your experience as a first generation college student. I hope you're doing well. Um, and yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.